Hello all and welcome back to Swapnil's Analysis, and I am Swapnil. Today we are going to discuss about UGC NET examination because I have been asked so many times by my current students and as well as by my former students that please make a video on how to prepare for UGC NET examination. So for just starter, I have qualified both the UGC NET examination and Maharashtra SET examination. So, how I have prepared for these two examination, that's just I'm going to explain to all of you, and I hope this might definitely help you in your preparation of UGC NET examination or SET examination. First of all, for those students who have no idea about what is a NET examination. NET examination is conducted by CBSE and now it is called as CBSE NET examination. What is NET? NET stands for National Eligibility Test. Now National Eligibility Test, that is NET, which is required for anyone who wants to or who aspires to teach at senior college level or at the university level. So once you pass CBSE or UGC NET examination, then you become eligible to teach at any college or any university in India. So those who are aspiring to teach at senior college level or university level, they must first crack NET examination or the SET examination conducted by the respective states. But NET has so many benefits. Once a candidate he passes a NET examination, then he becomes eligible to teach at any university or at any college at national level. So he becomes eligible. So therefore NET examination, they are very tough to crack as compared to SET examination conducted by most of the states. I know that most of the people, they would not agree, but believe me, NET examinations are tougher than the SET examinations conducted by the respective states. So why? Because the merit is decided nationally, and it is better to have a NET certificate at your resume because it also enhances your intelligence, or it also gives a kind of a confidence booster to an aspirant student. So as we all know that teaching at senior college level or teaching at university level has its own perks. It gives you respect. It has also a very good salary, and moreover the life, it makes a very comfortable life. So what first of all I would like to suggest to all of you who are aspiring to teach at senior college level or university level, that they first understand the responsibility of a professor, of a teacher at university level. First here, you should dedicate your life to that particular subject. For instance, my special subject is English literature. Therefore, someone must be studying history, someone must be studying chemistry, someone must be studying physics. So you first got to love your own subject, and you should have that mindset or mentality that okay, I am going to dedicate my whole life to this subject, because this understanding of your responsibility, this love for your own subject is very necessary for the preparation of UGC NET examination. See, passing an examination is a very easy thing. You will just have to study some books, you will just have to study some techniques, and you will be passed that examination. But to live longer or for the survival of the higher education field is a different thing. Other than this would just become the any other job. So job of the professor is totally different than any other job. First you will have to understand this concept in your mind. First, you will have to understand, okay, my job is not only to go there in the classes and to explain some things. First, I will also have to contribute to that subject. And therefore, governments, they are giving you such handsome salaries, not just for your luxury or not just for your enjoyment, that you should contribute to the subject and you should also become the expert of that subject after your 20 years of service or your 30 years of service. That is expected from you. Therefore, professors, they get such handsome salaries which many of the people they do not get. First. Second important thing as far as English literature is concerned, when you study English literature, most of the students in Asia, what they find that, okay, English is their second language. So, okay, English is your second language, but you first understand that teaching literature in the classes is a different thing and speaking English language is a different thing. Speaking English is a different and teaching literature is a different. You will find so many books on that topic. So first, anyone who is aspiring to teach English literature at senior college level or at university level, he must understand that he should have the habit of reading. That reading habit is very necessary for the professor. Imagine that a professor who doesn't read books, what would he give to his own students? So your responsibility is not to your only subject but to your students as well. So reading books, any kind of book, as a professor or as a student of that subject, because a professor, he is considered as a lifelong student of that particular subject, you must always be ready to read various kinds of books. If someone may be interested in Elizabethan drama, someone may be interested in romantic poetry or in 20th century novel, but as a teacher or as a student of literature, it is your job to read various kinds of books. You should read. It is your habit. You should have to develop that habit. Okay, if you do not have that habit right now, then you must develop that habit of reading. You should read one poetry a day, at least one poem a day, at least one short story a day, and simultaneously some novels, some dramas. That will enhance your knowledge about literature. That will enhance your knowledge about literature. See, studying literature for the examination or studying a text, be it of drama, be it of novel for the examination, is a different thing, and studying or preparing for the NET examination is a different thing. So for the NET, what they expect from you, that okay, you at least must have studied the famous books of the famous authors. See, this is the trick which generally I do not share, but I just want to inform you that UGC NET examination or any of the NET or SET examination for English literature, what they mostly focus upon, they mostly focus upon the famous works of the famous authors. And the syllabus is very vast. As far as English literature is concerned, syllabus starts from Chaucer to the present day. So what, just imagine, from the Chaucer to the present day, you will have to study about the famous poets, famous dramatists, famous novelists, famous short story writers, and moreover, famous critics. And this is not only regarding with English literature. This is related with American literature. This is related with Indian literature, South Asian literature, Australian literature, Canadian literature, New Zealand literature, and African literature. So when you study or when you prepare for UGC NET examination, see, 60% questions, they are bound to be on English literature, because English literature has a very vast history, starts from 14th century, from Chaucer to the present day. And they have produced so many beautiful poets, so many beautiful dramatists, and so many novelists and short story writers as well. So, just for the starter, I would like to suggest to all of you who are aspiring for UGC NET examination that they divide the literature. How they should divide the literature? First, they divide literature by their countries. For British literature, American literature, Indian literature, Canadian literature, Australian literature, and Asian literature. Now, in Asian literature, what you just have to study, or diasporic literature, what you just have to study, you just have to study about the famous writers. Means, for instance, if you are studying Chaucer, then you must study about the famous works of Chaucer, when these famous works were published, and the contemporaries of Chaucer, and what was the era of Chaucer was like. Means, for instance, what was the society was like when Chaucer was writing, social movements when Chaucer was writing, and the contemporary author of Chaucer. In the same way, what UGC NET, they want you to, at least you should be aware before going to the class, that you should be aware, okay, there was someone like Chaucer. What was the society was like when Chaucer was writing? In the same way, what was the society was like when Shakespeare was writing in Elizabethan period? So, see, for instance, so many few people know that Christopher Marlowe, he was a very famous tragedy writer before Shakespeare. Had he not died in 1593, I don't know whether Shakespeare had become that popular or not. So you should understand this thing, that Christopher Marlowe, he was more popular and more famous than Shakespeare when Shakespeare was writing. And how do you come to know about all these things? When you read the book of history of English literature. So in the same way, in Victorian era, two prominent poets are there, Lord Tennyson and Robert Browning. So when Tennyson was writing, Browning, he was not considered as a very great poet. Browning, he was not considered as a great poet. On the other hand, Lord Tennyson, he was considered as the leader of the Victorian poetry, and he was a leader of the Victorian poetry, there was no doubt. But later on today, Browning is considered as the greatest poet of Victorian era rather than William Tennyson. And you should be able to understand this fact, that after Shakespeare, now Browning is considered as a very great poet. And you should also very curious about that society in which Milton was writing, society in which Shakespeare was writing. Why Shakespeare has written 151 sonnets? These questions, they should what? They should increase your curiosity. They should haunt you, that why Shakespeare has written 151 sonnets. It is because when you read the book of history of English literature, it informs you what? That sonnet was a very dominant poetic form for the Elizabethan poetry. Then you should also know about Philip Sidney's Astrophil and Stella was the first sonnet sequence written in English literature. In the same way, Milton's Paradise Lost is the first English epic written in English language. So we all know about Homer, we all know about Greek epics, but Milton, he was the first person to write an epic in English language, that is of Paradise Lost. So when you prepare for UGC NET examination, always think about what, as far as English literature is concerned, because I am the student of English literature and I love English literature, that society, how was the society when Chaucer was writing, when Shakespeare was writing. Chaucer's famous works, Shakespeare's famous works. Then the famous contemporaries of the Chaucer or the Shakespeare or any of the famous novelists or the author. The social movements, which social movement was very dominant during the time, which poetic form was very dominant during the time. As I have told you, that sonnet was a very dominant poetic form for the Elizabethan poets. In the same way, how these very courtly sonnets, they gave birth to metaphysical poetry. How then metaphysical poetry to the cavalier poetry, then Puritan poetry. Then what suddenly, why the 1660 to 1700, this 40 years period is called as a restoration period. So first you will have to understand each and every aspect of that particular period, of that particular era. Only then and then you will be able to understand, or you will be able to crack the UGC NET examination. So UGC NET examination, it is really a very tough examination to crack, whether you believe it or not, but it is a very tough examination to crack, and therefore you have to study, means it will require study of at least 4 to 5 hours every day. And how you will have to study 4 to 5 hours? First you will have to study literature, then you will have to study criticism, and then you will have to give time for your own personal reading and personal notes. Now what is this personal reading? Personal reading means you will have to study the famous works. At least try to read the summary, and at least try to read the famous lines or the famous poems of the famous poets. Means there would be at least 100 poems, famous 100 poems that you should at least know about. Okay. And the most important factor, that you should divide literature, means from Chaucer to Victorian period, the literary trend is quite bit the same. But for the 20th century literature, be it British literature, American literature, Indian literature, Australian literature or African literature, you should try to study and understand, was there any difference between British literature or British drama and American drama? For instance, 20th century British drama, there was a social movement. And as far as American literature is concerned, in American literature, they were dealing with their own issues, their own social issues. And again, the absurd theater, the absurd plays, why they emerge. Again, war poetry. Again, modern novel. Again, post-1950, post-colonial literature. Again, diasporic literature. So you will have to divide, you will have to study all these things, and only then you will be able to crack UGC NET examination successfully. Because I have seen that students, they have scored first class, or they have secured distinction in their in their MA, but still they are not able to crack the UGC NET examination. And then they ask me, sir, okay, I have scored distinction, I have scored 70%, I have scored 65%, I have scored 75% in my MA, but still I am not able to crack the NET examination. The problem here is that you are not preparing, you are not studying everything. First, here again I am reiterating that you should study all the social movement, all the literary movement, like structuralism, like post-colonial studies, like feminism, like Marxism, African literature, Indian literature, Australian literature, American literature. You should at least know about the famous authors and their works. Famous modern female poets, Sylvia Plath, Annie Sexton. You should at least know about war poetry. You should at least know about famous poems of Tennyson's. You should at least know about the famous characters of literature. And for that, it requires hard work. It requires reading. And your reading should be multifaceted. Means, for instance, I used to read about 10 to 11 hours every day, and I used to give that much of time, and therefore after continuous study of 2 years I was able to crack a UGC NET examination with flying colors. So it requires hard work, it requires study, and it will take time, because right now at the moment, whether you will be in your undergraduate classes or you will be in your postgraduate classes, you may not be aware about what is war poetry, what is modern poetry, what is modern novel, what is post-colonial literature, what is African literature, what is diasporic literature, what is feminist literature, what is modern female poets, and many aspects of literature. So it is better that you should first try to understand these things, that what is feminism, what is post-colonialism, and okay, which are the post-colonial writers, which are the Marxist writers, which are the war poets, what is modern novel, what is modern American theater, what is modern British drama, what is social play. And then you will be able to understand. See, the first novel of English literature, the first short story. So, crime fiction, there are so many aspects, and you never know what the UGC NET they would ask. So, it is better to just concentrate on, at least you should know about the various theories of English literature, and you should concentrate on the famous works and the famous characters of English literature. Okay, this is, I think, enough. But now I would just like to suggest you that how you should first start. Means first you will have to start with baby steps. Now how the baby steps that I have informed you, that see, this is a very good book which I will recommend of Trivedi, of History of English Literature. And in this book you will find all the writers and their famous works and the social background. So this book of History of English Literature of Trivedi, it is a very good book, and this book is around of 600 or 700 pages. So while buying any book of History of English Literature, you should always focus on the pages, and that book should contain from at least from Chaucer to the 1950, to the period of 1950 literature, because you should not have to study on the internet or any other thing. This book will guide you, or at least prepare you for your baby steps. And then after reading History of English Literature, then you should focus on the specific books, such as this book of History of English Poetry. In this book you will find all the poet and the eras and all the aspects of poetry. This is a very short book, around 150 pages. This book you should also read. And I would highly recommend that this book of Sharat Rajanwale of History of English Literature. Now you will be able to see the condition of the book, because I have read it so many times. This book is in the question answer format, and there is a topic that post-colonial writers, feminist writers, or the structuralism. So this book answers your all the question. So this book you read after you have read the History of English Literature book, any of your choice. And as I have told you that not only literature, but you will also have to read and understand the criticism, because criticism is a very important part of English literature. So this Chaskar and Kulkarni's book of Introduction to Literary Criticism, this will give you the basic idea of the basic concepts of English Literary Criticism. So this book, it will cost you around 200 rupees. It will be available on any of the online book selling format or book selling website. So you should have this book and read it. It will give you at least idea about the basic concepts of literary criticism. And moreover, this Mohanty's book of literary criticism, wherein you will find the original essays written by the critics, means Wordsworth's essay, S.T. Coleridge's essay, or Philip Sidney's essay on dramatic poesy, or Dryden's essay, and until the modern period. So this book will give you the modern essays, and this book you should also have, because you will have to read the modern essays as well as far as the criticism is concerned. And this book of criticism, this will guide you about the modern criticism, that is feminism, that is post-colonial studies, that is diaspora, that is lesbian criticism, that is African criticism or African writings. So this book specifically will guide you about modern criticism, okay, modern literary theory. Now, along with these books, they also ask about some literary terms. So this dictionary of modern critical terms, this book of modern critical terms, definitely will guide you about all other literary terms that you should know about regarding the English literature. But my favorite, and which I always recommend to all of my students, that this Penguin Classic of modern literary critical terms. This is a very lengthy book, and you will find all the necessary information regarding the critical books. And this book will cost you around 500 or 600 rupees, but you should have this book in your library, and you should read at least 2 terms per day, 2 critical terms. And this book is very informative, and I think this will help you in your UGC NET preparation examination. Now, many of the people or many of the students, they ask me that should we read those books, means I have this book of UGC, as you might have seen, those who are preparing for UGC NET examination, that should we read this book? Okay, what I say, when you are supposed to read such any kind of a book which gives you short or brief introduction about English literature or any of the critical terms, see, this book, you should have this book, but you should read this book only before the 10 days of your UGC NET examination. This, you just read it as your notes or just brushing of your knowledge, okay? So do not focus on this book and do not rely on this book for your preparation of UGC NET examination. This book is helpful only prior to the 10 days of UGC examination. So you have to read lengthy books, you have to read bulky books, and along with this you will have to read novels, dramas, poems, short stories, and whatever is possible for you in this age of internet. See, today, although if you do not have money to buy the books, we all have smartphones, and all these, most of the books which I have talked about, all these books are available in PDF form on internet. You just have to download these books in a PDF form and you have to read. See, there is no shortcut for the success. There is nothing. You have to give your time 5 to 6 hours at least for the UGC NET examination preparation, and it will take 1 year to 2 years. If you are in your first year of post-graduation, start your study from today. If you are in your F5A, start your study in a F5BA class when if you want to prepare for the UGC NET examination, because I myself had started when I was in SYBA. There I had decided, okay, I'm going to prepare for UGC NET examination. So right after my post graduation, I had qualified UGC NET examination right after my post graduation. So I did not spend so much my years on qualification of UGC NET examination. So if you have any other problems or difficulties, you can let me know in the comment section. And best of luck for all of you for your UGC NET examination. And if you have liked this presentation, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and to support me. Thanks for watching.